it's my experience in reading Cosmic Horror, watching Cosmic Horror, playing Cosmic Horror video games, the whole nine yards, that strict adherence to the way Lovecraft does something comes across sort of tinny and flat.
Right.
And what I mean by that is that the best pastiches of Lovecraft's work, they can be fun, but Lovecraft had a tendency toward the melodramatic that, a lot of people fainting and a lot of people going insane from having read something in a book. And Lovecraft, but for the sheer, I think, imagination behind the ideas, I think it could have fallen flat in the hands of anyone else.
Right.
One of the things that I think makes and it's kind of it's kind of this sort of weird contradictory thing, but one of the things that makes Lovecraft's work as enduring and effective as it is, if you can get past the antiquated language and his tendency to use certain words over and over again and to avoid explaining, describing things because it was that which could not be explained.
Right.
I think that the enduring aspect is that he was really afraid of the things that he wrote about. Not that he was afraid of, tentacled, slimy things, coming to get people in the night, but he had some absolutely abhorrent views of other people.
Right.
He was, unrepentantly racist. He started to ease up a little bit before he died, but he was pretty unrepentantly racist. He didn't. If you read his correspondence, he kind of comes across as a cantankerous old man before he was really a cantankerous old man.
Right.
He's a little grumpy. And if you look at how he was raised, I think that much of the hate that he had for other people came from a fear of change. So in a way, it was a xenophobia that drove it. I think he felt like, because he was different. He was different. He had a difficult family life. He was often sick as a child. He had kind of a tough time growing up, and he knew he was different. And I think he felt afraid of being ostracized for being different. And when people fear being on the outside of a group, they do whatever they can to other somebody else and to outside somebody else. And I think that is sort of an or overlooked thing, underrepresented aspect of his character, that I think he was afraid of being shut out from the sympathy of his fellow human beings. And so he had this very active, correspondence with other people, and he wrote about in a lot of stories that not just the fear of others, but the fear of being another, fear of finding out that you are not like everybody else. And I think it's the genuine fear, although misguided and often misdirected at the wrong people.
Right.
I do think that he honestly felt that fear. I think it's one of the reasons that, say, something like The Exorcist works as well as it does. Even if you weren't raised Catholic and even if you don't believe in demons, The Exorcist is a scary book. And I think what is scary is that the man who wrote it believed in it wholeheartedly. He believed in the fear of that kind of evil wholeheartedly. And I think with Lovecraft, that's the thing of it. I think the best way for people to reconcile their appreciation of Lovecraft with the fact that he may not have liked them as people, and I count myself one of those people. I don't think he thought too highly of Italians. I don't get the impression that he always thought too highly of women as anything more than like matrons. Right. I don't think he thought of them as being particularly talented or interesting in any way. So I get it. It is difficult to reconcile admiring somebody's work, knowing that they were that he was such an awful person,
right,
in certain views that he had. And the way that I've done it, the way that I think most people who have reclaimed cosmic horror as a genre that they can comfortably write in is understanding that it might not have been such powerful fiction without the fear behind it.
Right.
Maybe without the hate. Sure, we could have done without the hate, but
Yes.
but I think the hate was driven by fear. And I think that without that fear, it might not have had the impact that it's had over time.